it was a 6 month recovery process, so I had to deal with it throughout the whole year. And there are definitely a lot of times in practices or even games where it took me a lot longer to get warmed up, or I just felt I couldn't do a certain move just because I felt pain in my hips. So yeah, I had to deal with that the whole year, but I managed pretty well. But yeah, no, I'm happy that that's over with now.
Did you ever consider getting it last summer and like just starting the season a little later?
No, no, not at all. Wasn't even a question. Didn't even come to mind.
How would you describe the blend of this team?
I think I think we have a really good squad with knowing what our roles are. Obviously, we're still learning how to fully come together and play together as a team. But obviously, compared to last year, we're already ahead of the game. I think just because of having guys returning, and the freshmen are learning every day. They're doing a great job of adapting. I mean, each one of us has something. Each one of our strengths are very different from the other, and that's a really good thing for this team because that just makes us very versatile, and we can rely on something different each time if we need to.
Kyle, the interim.
No Derek Lively.
What was that? I'm sorry.
No Derek Lively in the lineup. How will your role change?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still going to be doing a lot of what I did last year. I think the newest thing is going to be playing a little more small ball, where I'm gonna be the biggest guy on the court at times, and we'll be able to go 5 out, 5 spread on offense. So I think that's kind of just the biggest thing, but I don't have an issue with that at all. I'm looking forward to that. I put on some pounds too over these last 6 months, good pounds. So I'll be able to handle some bigger dudes in the post as well.
Kyle, can you describe how after your surgery, there was a period where you couldn't do anything, and then you could do some things, but you weren't cleared for full. Can you describe how you used that period in the middle to get stronger, quicker, whatever?
Yeah, I mean, during that time, I was able to just, like you said, focus on a very few things and just put all my attention on that. I was able to just reflect too mentally. Have some focus on my mental health a little bit, because it was definitely a challenging time just knowing I was limited, and I was on the couch for 2 months doing nothing. But I was able to just focus on my upper body a little bit. I was able to focus on just starting fresh with my legs as well. I wasn't going from 0 to 100. I was taking my time. I was progressing, and I was moving pretty quickly. Actually, I was doing really good with that.
Your teammates say they didn't even know last year that you were in pain.
Yep.
There's an implied question there.
Yep. No. Yeah. I know a few of them have said that to me, and they didn't realize how serious it was. But I mean, I didn't want to make any excuses myself either. I can't do this, I can't do that because my hips. Obviously, it was hurting at times, and it was discouraging me inside mentally. But yeah, no, I was trying to do what was best for the team at that time as well. I think.
Did the coaches know?
Coaches did know, yeah.
So we talked a little bit about this during the summer, but how much of the NBA process, how much did you go through that process, and how much did you consider, and how does the makeup of this team reassure your decision in coming back and kind of trying to reach the ultimate goal?
Yeah, for sure. Excuse me. I didn't really do much with going into the NBA process at all. I kind of had a hunch on where I fell, in the range, but I wasn't really that interested in, taking a deeper dive and seeing the highs I could get, or wherever. I was just kind of, I loved it here this past year, and I know I know there's just so much more I can improve on, and I wasn't even thinking about my hips either. I wanted to make the decision on staying or going without any factors involving, that's hips included. So I realized we had a special group last year, and obviously it was a whole new group as well. But just the opportunity we have this year, not every team gets that, and I've always been a big college guy growing up, big college fan. Um, so I know that this only comes across once in your life, and I just wanted to try to make the most of it before fate sends me on my way.
So
How
your
much
teammates
did-
have also referenced State Farm Arena, the Dome in Phoenix being in your locker room.
Yep.
How much does that play into the mindset of this group this year?
Yep, every day we see it, because that's our ultimate goal. We got to start believing it from day one. I think there was still some doubt last year of how far we could really go, but this year we don't want there to be any doubt, and so we see that every day. We're like, yep, that's where we're going. We're going to keep that up even through the difficult times, because that's just going to build us up for when March comes around.
Kyle, with the last year, you guys took off in this, final few weeks of the season, really seemed to hit your stride. How valuable is that experience for guys like you and Tyrese, guys that maybe had a decision to make but decided to come back? You're talented and you're armed with more experience of playing the way you wanted to play.
Yeah, that definitely gives a big confidence boost going into this year. Just obviously the tournament kind of ended on a bad note, but seeing how far we did come and the high points we did have towards the end of the season, we realized what we were capable of, and sky's really the limit this year. And that's just, like I said, that's a big confidence boost for us.
You mentioned the ability to play 5 out on offense.
Yep.
What is that going to look like on defense?
Yeah, I mean, it really we want teams adapting to how we're going to be playing, but obviously at times, just because we'll be going 5 out doesn't mean I'm still not going to be playing alongside Ryan, Christian, Sean. Still have that kind of two big man duo in action. So it's really whatever we want to throw at our opponents. But yeah, so just me on the inside, I'm not really too worried about it defensively. I'm very motivated. I've been working every day on how to get better on my defense, and I've been making a big stride compared to last year. So it's looking good for me.
What are your impressions of the freshmen off the court and how they kind of add into the chemistry of this team so you guys can make it to Phoenix?
Yep. It's great because I've never really seen a group of freshmen so tight knit as these 4 guys, and I think that they have each other's backs, which is great. But they've also learned that we can have their backs as well, the older guys, and that's a great feeling just to have those freshmen so motivated and encouraged to come in every day, put in the extra work, just do whatever they can to help mesh into this team that we're trying to be.
That was a great concert.
It was good.
What is Jared like?
A lot of giddiness, a lot of positive attitude, which is great.
Kyle, we talked last year about you adjusting the physicality of college ball. At first, getting more physical, and later in the season, getting a little bit less physical, getting used to it. Do you feel an extra sense of confidence heading into this season compared to last? Now you have a better understanding of how physical to be.
Yeah, I do for sure. I think just going into the season, I was kind of learning as I was going, but now this year I know what to expect. I can, yes sir, it's time to just go out there, and just kill right off the bat.
What's it like to see the football team get so much love and attention, especially this week with Notre Dame here?
Yeah, it's really cool just seeing how well the football team's doing. And obviously you see everywhere on social media that this is a football school now, but we don't take that personally at all. We support that as well. It's great to see we're there, every game, just supporting them. It's been great to see another sport doing so well for this program.
My
Well,
memory
you
serves.
shot less than 30% on threes last year. How does improving that help you as a player and help this team?
Yeah, it would definitely help, myself and my future. But for this team, it'll be a big threat just offensively, especially when I'll be playing the five at times, and you know I'm gonna be more of a 3-point threat. It's gonna open up a whole new just variety of options on the offensive end.
That period when you weren't cleared for full work, you spent a lot of that time working on threes, did you not?
Yes, I did. I did. I've been working. That's been one of my biggest focuses is getting that better. Everything's really been a big focus for me. But yeah, no, I'm definitely motivated to get that a lot better this year.
Kyle, I think it was Tyrese that said that Coach Shire is more direct in his second year. How would you describe? I'm curious as to how you would describe him year two versus coming in that first year one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could say it's very similar to kind of how I went about my first year. He was learning a lot on the go as well, but he was very motivated and passionate about just doing the best we could. But I think now this year, after having that 1 year under his belt, he's going to come out guns a-blazing because he has a better sense of what to do. He has a lot more confidence, a lot more comfortability with his team, and already having experience with some of us. So I think he's definitely excited to just come out ready to go.
Kyle, what were some of your takeaways from going back and watching the Tennessee film?
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely see just a lot of. You could still just definitely see a lot of immaturity in the game. With myself, but some us as a team as a whole, just realizing when it was kind of like a flashback to the beginning of the season when things got tough. We kind of like split away a little bit, but that's a big thing that we got to work on this year. Is when things get tough, we still got to stay together. Get good plays or good defensive stops as a whole, and I think that's kind of one of the biggest takeaways from the Tennessee game.
Kyle, people always expect a lot out of Duke basketball, and they're expecting a lot out of you this year. People even comparing you to Christian Laettner. Do you like being compared to a player like that? Does that fuel you? Or do you like being Kyle Filipowski?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's that part of me where I always want to, be known as who I am. But obviously, you get all these comparisons, growing up and stuff where I'm okay with it, especially with the reputation Christian Laettner had, where it was definitely a unique one. But yeah, no, it doesn't bother me at all. I kind of like to hear that at times, and I know I'm still making a name for myself at the same time.
When I was talking to Jeremy, he mentioned, Coach Shire was talking about that Tennessee game a lot. I think Jeremy's exact words were he kind of felt like you guys got punked a little bit. I know you had that kind of cut under your eye, like Tennessee just played really, really physical. How are you guys using that as motivation going into this year, sort of a chip on your shoulder or otherwise?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's just, don't expect anything less to happen. You gotta, if you want it, you gotta go out and take it. Don't just sit back and wait for something to happen and then respond. You gotta go out and be the first one to make the other team respond. I think that's probably another big lesson that I learned, but the team learned as well. And yeah, I think just that doing that throughout the whole season will build up consistency, and we'll never be complacent to how we want to play as a team.
You got kicked out of practice yet this year?
No, I have not.
How much have you grown since last year as a freshman?
It's been one hell of a ride for sure. There's definitely been a lot of days where I've been struggling this past summer, but obviously, I have a little bit more of an excuse. this time. but yeah, no, just looking back, seeing how far I've come, I'm super proud of myself. But at the same time, I realize I just still want to, keep giving more to this place, give more to my teammates and coaches, because, they've really brought out the best in me, and I'm super grateful for it. But yeah, no, I still know that I can do more for them as well.
Harkening back to one of your earlier answers, you mentioned that one of the strengths of this year's roster is that everyone knows their role, and you said that for you sometimes there might be